Jump in progress. Jump complete. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. My name is Mike, aka Operation DX, and welcome to the very first episode of Stars in Shadow. I don't know what it is about this game, but it keeps bringing me back for more. Whether it's the simple nature of the game, or the interesting graphics and clean interface, or the fact that it plays like an old school 4X game that's just bringing me back into nostalgia, and I'm just enjoying it and playing it a lot in my off time, so I figured, why not bring it to the channel? Yeah, baby, bring it. So that's what I decided to do. I don't know exactly how long this series is going to run. It's going to be kind of like a side series. It's going to run something similar to what like Rise of Nations did on my channel. If you happen to catch that, I have like an RTS category and stuff. I might throw this in there. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and rock this sucker. So live commentary, live gameplay, and probably 15-20 minute episodes until we're done, however long that is. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit a new game, and let me stop blabbing on in your face like I always do. Not too bad though, kind of into the game in a minute here. Well, not in game, but okay, shut up, keep going, keep going. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the different factions real quick before we decide which one we're going to be. Alright, so we have these guys, which I kind of look at as like the trading nice guy race, but not exactly, because they're kind of techie. They have +5 science per colonist, I think, or is that just a general +5? I'm not sure. Their affinity is construction, and of course they generate +1 production per colonist. They also have these escort carriers, which they use, oh yeah, they do, often. So it seems pretty effective. They're pretty nasty in a big pile, for sure. These guys are like kind of xenophobic race. They have these like cloaky ships and one of these like short-range fighter, torpedo fighter things. These guys can be nasty, nasty, but they're not so much in the high-tech field. They are like information-based, so you're more like spy race. Although, what I like about this game is it doesn't seem to be any like technology stealing, at least not yet. It's one of those things I really hated about like Master of Orion, like freaking races stealing my technology. I immediately declare war on them and destroy them because they took technology from me. Or what was funny in that game is like they a species took tech and they blame it on someone else to try to get you to go to war with them. I don't know, that's funny. All right, next comes my favorite dudes in the whole game. So these guys are I've never seen this before. They're bugs and they're a tech race. I love it. They're my favorite. I love them. Okay, so they get +10 science. Their affinity is physics, and they get plus 0.5 per science, or +5 shoot, I can't talk. 0.5 science per colonist. So every one you have of these guys, or every million population, you get plus 0.5 science, which is relevant for these guys. They also get access to some long-range artillery or siege weaponry early on, which can make these guys a formidable threat. Yeah. All right. These guys I kind of look as your Klingon warlike race, you know. They also have a bonus to production. They have like these fast attack ships, and they can get these things out quick. They always fly in big packs of ships. These guys can be dangerous, but also they also get +10 to science. So these guys can be a force to be reckoned with. And if you're playing these guys, their focus is planetology, which means that you might want to go for like terraforming really quick so you can spread out really quickly. This is the kind of faction you want to go to war with everybody and spread out as fast as you possibly can. All right, and then we have humanity, which is just kind of an odd one for this game, honestly. So after playing a few games, I really don't see like any reason to play humanity, which is sad because I like to play as humanity in these kind of games. Now, all these guys, they get like these bonuses, right? You get plus to science, these guys get a special cloak ship, these guys get plus, you know, to production. What do a human get? They get no homeworld. So that's no good. And what do they get for consolation? They get an extra colony ship. They should get like 3 colony ships. Yeah, seriously. So I don't look at these guys as something that's like, man, I want to play them. they're gimped from the beginning, but you don't want to, like, I think it was this telling you don't want to play these guys as a first timer because they're hard to play with. Yeah, and that is a good note. That's why this is in yellow. You should read that. Of course, their affinity is beams, and they get a science bonus, and they're pretty standard here. Nothing super special about them. So we're going to go with these guys. I like these guys. They're my favorite. I'm still talking your ear off, but yeah, like I said, I like these. These are my favorite. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to map settings here, and we get a random assortment of different players here. All right, now one thing I don't like that I'm seeing, and I'm actually going to change up, is we have this species that is actually a coming soon species that haven't been implemented, and I'd prefer to have someone who's like who do we have? Yeah, that's like, you know, been fleshed out or have been thought through. So we'll play against the species that are like part of the game, which is these 5 races here. Yeah, you play of 5 species on this. This is a default setup. You can obviously add more if you want. So we're gonna play on a medium-sized galaxy, and we're just gonna leave it alone. 50 stars. Native species, we'll leave that on rare. And let's go ahead and start this sucker. Yeah. So we're generating a new random galaxy, and I think I said it before: live gameplay, live commentary. So I have no idea what we're gonna get, and we'll just see how this kind of comes together, shall we? Alright, so sometimes I read this stuff, sometimes don't. Basically, it's just giving you the species, like what they are, what they're about, what kind of system of government, all that. Not going to read it, okay? Alright, so one of the first things we might want to do when we're playing this game is we'll go ahead and set up production on our main world. Now, this can be a tricky thing here, especially if you're playing this particular faction and you know that your affinity is science, right? Physics, particularly. So you might think, well, we're a tech race. Of course, the first thing I want to build is a laboratory, right? No, not so much. And the reason is because you don't know what type of worlds you're going to run into around you. I'm inclined to actually build a farm first, and then build a lab, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and hopefully after that we get like an idea of what we're in for as far as planet selection. It could be terrible, it could be good, we don't know. I got super lucky in my look video for this game, but that doesn't seem to be a common occurrence in this game. After playing many games of it, now I'm liking what I'm seeing here. We're not starting off in the center of the galaxy. This is good, especially for my particular species and my particular play style, because we can kind of sit back, be a little xenophobic, and we may not encounter the other species right away. We'll probably encounter some of the minor species. Alright, so let's see what we can reach. I have a feeling we can reach these 4 star systems. Let's go ahead and check that out first, shall we? Nope. Yes, yes, and yes. 3 star systems. I'm actually most interested in these big stars, and the reason why is because these big stars typically house the best planets in the game. Interesting, but they do. Alright, and I mean, because these stars are so huge, you would assume that they're absolutely ancient. So, I don't know, they have typically the best worlds. Alright, now, obviously, before we hit the turn button, we need to get our tech going, or we're going to be wasting our turns here. So let's go ahead and go into our research. And this kind of just gives us a quick breakdown. And we just want to hit this next research project. Now, the beauty. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing in this game, and I absolutely, absolutely love it. Okay, so in some games, what you can do is you can just like queue up a few technologies and you're off and running kind of thing. And then you might look at this and you're like, oh, okay, so maybe I want to go for whatever, like this, you know, mass drivers or boarding tactics or whatever. Now, in my case, I look at these guys, the bug race, as they're a tech race, man. You want to play into their affinity, which is technology. So in order to do that, you're probably going to want to get like the best labs as fast as you can get them. So what I really like about this is we can see, okay, superconductors leads to nanocomputers, right? And then nanocomputers leads to all these different technologies. But I know that self-organizing networks lead to the next tier of labs, right? So I'm really interested in that happening. But I want to take it a step further. So this just happens to follow down a path that I would actually take these guys down in the beginning anyway. So I'm going to go adaptive energy grid, quantum computing, and quantum computing actually leads to the highest tier laboratory. Now, we could in the middle, like, change course and make decisions based on things that happen on the fly, because things don't always go to plan in these games. But if you can remain kind of xenophobic, then shoot, man, if you can get these guys rolling with their tech, they're unstoppable. So what we can do is, okay, right now we're on quantum computing, and you have this like Q research, right? So we can click Q research, and this queues every prerequisite technology up to quantum computing. That is so freaking beautiful, man. I don't know any other game that does this, and it's beautiful. I was also talking about in my look video how I really like that the game doesn't. Some developers look at like, oh, you know, we need to add random technologies to make our game interesting every time. No, you don't. You don't need to do that. Sometimes knowing the path is good, and then you could play a different species and learn a different path. But I don't think that different species actually use a different tech tree in this game. I think the tech tree is just the tech tree in this game kind of thing. I haven't found anything special about the different factions or anything. But this is how I'm going to play this species. If I was playing someone else, I may go about it in a different way and play into their strengths opposed to their weaknesses. Alright, now it is very, very likely that when we get to this planet that we're going to run into something that's guarding it. And things should be guarding it. You know what? Let's just see what happens here. Alright, 4 turns, 3 turns, 2 turns, 1 turn, and the verdict is Gaia Discovery. Holy bajoli, 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 bajoli. Okay, this is absurd, and I should almost start the game over. Why would I do that? Why would I start the game over if I just got a Gaia? Well, because this is almost too good of a start. This is almost too good of a start. And you know what's interesting about me saying this is I've played this game probably a good maybe 15, 20, maybe 30 times. I mean, a lot, right? Just like starts and all that. I've never run into this good a start ever. In fact, it's usually like a really terrible thing. I just can't pass it by. I'm going to keep it because it's a live gameplay, live commentary. But I feel like this is just insane, Jack. This is insane. This is way, way insane. Okay, so we have ourselves a Gaia, right? We're already a force to be reckoned with. I could start off with just these 2 planets, and oh my gosh, we're gonna be an absolute powerhouse. I'm gonna take it. All right. So another thing I'm gonna do is I know that starting off on this Gaia, even though we're gonna land on it and everything, we might run into a situation where we're short on food. So here's the thing about the transport. We can actually take some colonists and move them over from our world to the Gaia world and kind of like bootstrap the world a little bit. Or we can set this up to just kind of feed the population while they grow. I'm inclined to just go ahead and let this thing trade. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start Trading. And this is going to either just give us gold per turn or money. Actually, don't know what it's called in this game. And then it's going to transfer food if we need food for our other colony, right? Simple enough. All right, so now that we've done that and we have an absurdly absurd of the most absurd nis, absurdness start, we're going to go ahead and send our ship over to the Yellow Star and see what we find over there. In the meantime, we're obviously going to take our colony ship and send it over to this planet and colonize it as soon as we possibly can. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit turn, 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 and turn. All right. Now in the look video, I actually clicked on this and then hit the flag, but you actually don't need to do that. You can just hit the colonize button below the world. Bam, we're going to do that. We've established a new colony. Holy crap, this is absurd. And we actually start with 5 colonists on this world. I don't know if that's because it's just so freaking good or what the deal is. Now let's go ahead and go into production. So now even something that's even more crazy. These guys have a native faction, which is going to defend this world for us if there's an invasion, and we start with a farm. Straight off the bat. Start with a farm. I'm so confused as to what I'm actually going to do. Like I'm sort of like excited and confused what I'm going to do with this planet, but man, it's insane. All right. Unfortunately, these episodes aren't going to be super long because I do have a million other series I am tending to. So unfortunately, I'm going to cut this now and pick up in another episode. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great day and take care.